Trending in York Region. I'm your host, Gila Martow. We're talking today with several new graduates to get their perspectives on post-secondary education and career opportunities. Next up is Michelle Kahn from Richmond Hill. Michelle, we want to hear, where did you study, what are you doing?
So I actually graduated June 2011 from York University, the BA Honors Program for Film Studies. And I've been running a production company, Oi Oi Productions, ever since.
So why Oi Oi?
Funny story. You mean the name?
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. Everybody always asks the story about the name. So most people think it's because a lot of my films happen to have a Jewish undertone to them. It's actually because I have a teddy bear, and I carried him with me everywhere I went. And every time I would drop him
out of university or when you were a kid?
University, yeah.
Yeah,
well,
okay.
During the exam. I
just want to make sure everybody's got it clear.
Yeah. Well, I had him in my stroller, and every time I would drop him, my dad would bend down to pick him up, and he would hold his back and he'd go, "Oi!" So I thought it was Oi Oi.
Okay.
So, and then I decided to name it after something sentimental, and that meant something to me, and so Oi Oi Productions.
But it's interesting, eh?
Yeah.
So, what are you doing in terms of the production? Is it, how's it get going? Is it easy, hard? What's hard?
Extremely hard, but a lot of fun. I depending on the project, I might be directing and writing. I might be directing, writing, and editing. I might be just writing. I might also be performing. It's a project by project thing with, and I have a team, so if I'm doing a live show, I've got choreographers, I've got musical directors that I hire, that I bring in with me, and if it's a film, it works a little differently, but often I work from, the beginning concept to the final production on all the stages. And then I also work with other companies and other up-and-coming
What about
producers.
corporate clients? Like, would you do something for a corporate? Sometimes I've been to conferences, Michelle, where they'll start it off sort of, get everything going, where they'll do kind of a spoof little short video with the sales team and maybe some customers or things like that. And it's just kind of, a promotional thing, and it's funny, and it gets everybody kind of...
I've definitely done those, and they're a lot of fun. They really are, and it's a great way of networking, of course, and just getting your name out there. Every opportunity is an opportunity, so you should grab it.
Right, and every opportunity can lead to 10 more opportunities, even if that opportunity doesn't sound that interesting.
Yeah.
Just like, coming on Rogers,
of course,
Region Cable TV and getting to meet people and doing that promotional networking. What about social media? How, I think that there's a big advantage for people who are able to use social media for the kind of projects you're doing.
Yeah, it's been a great help. It's definitely, it gets your name far beyond your local community, right? You can use the internet to get to people in other countries. Like, all the different networking opportunities that come from it are amazing in itself.
So what's the biggest help? Facebook, YouTube?
You know what? I'm trying to every time I think I've signed up for all of them, I haven't. I've learned a new one, right? So Facebook is probably the easiest right now because basically everybody's on it. Everybody and their grandmother is on it.
Yeah.
And that's super helpful, and it's been around for a few years now that I've mastered it.
Right, and
it's super easy. Yeah, YouTube easy. If something costs money, well, you have to think, is that going to make me money? And also, the newer stuff, it takes time. Not everybody's on it, and then you've got to budget your time. Well, I've got to tweet, and then I've got to post this on Facebook, and I've got, it's a lot. It's like a job in itself.
It is a job in itself, and that's why there's some companies, they hire somebody just to manage Twitter and Facebook. And even politicians do that. So what do you feel in terms of, the guidance counselors or government in general did to encourage you to pursue something that you really like? Did you feel that there was encouragement or there were grants?
There was definitely encouragement, and I was really glad to see that there was that encouragement to be in the arts. It's not just about law, medicine, or even engineering, all these really amazing, careers. But there's also the arts, and they're very supportive But, you know, one thing that I found was that a lot of, and a lot of my friends who are also artists found that there are a lot of internships out there that are not paid because they're not government funded. And then, you know, my friends, they always complain to me, you know, they turn around and they say, well, I really want this internship and it's going to take me somewhere, but it's 6 months. It's not even a paid bus ticket, right? I need a job to pay off my student loans, so what am I supposed to do?
So what can the government do? One thing, and it's just occurring to me now that you said about a bus ticket, that can the government say, okay, listen, you're hiring these interns and let's face it, you're getting some free labor out of it to these companies. But can they say, you know what, you have to provide bus fare. You have to provide lunch or lunch money.
Yeah.
That it shouldn't be such a complete and easy free ride for these companies. Do you think that's something that the government could mandate without killing some of the opportunities?
Of course, I think just making it a little bit easier for us is going to make us work harder. It's going to make us better at what we do, and then we're going to be able to give back to the community. You know, I would think the government wants us to be successful, so they should help us. I mean, one thing that they could do is kind of reevaluate different criteria for internships. I know one of them that I studied film studies at York, not film production, because I'm obsessed with old movies and I love the history, right? And I tried to have an internship at a local station, and it was all about film history, what they were talking about. And I just wanted to be on the team, you know, even just help out behind the scenes with the camera, anything, research. And this is while I was a student, and I was doing the interview, and they found out that I wasn't in the production stream. I was in the study stream, even though their program had to do with history, and the interview stopped, because the government won't allow that.
Right, because they're getting government funding. So
yeah.
You feel that
I
there
felt
should be...
like that was, like, come on, you know. So I think little things like that. Like I understand maybe okay, you want us in the film industry to work in film, sounds good, but I think you need to reevaluate because there's a lot of different streams. There's a lot of different streams of medicine, right? So I think it should be a little bit more accessible to people. And how am I going to learn what I want to do if you don't give me room to grow? Maybe I don't want to be a director. Maybe I want to be an editor. Maybe I want to do this. Maybe I want to research. But you're not letting me, you know, test the waters.
So what would you say to high school students who are interested in doing the type of work you're doing or getting involved in film studies or film production? Should they go and volunteer at, say,
Yes.
Rogers TV, go online,
Yes.
go to the Rogers website?
Yes, 100%. Yes. I started Oi Oi Productions when I was 14, and it was probably one of the best decisions I ever made. I didn't wait, and there's no reason to wait. Like, what are you waiting for? If it's your passion, or even if you're not sure, go for it. You've got nothing to lose, only, you know, experience and knowledge to gain, and who knows, you might actually get a following. You might find out that's what you want, and you've already got your foot in the door.
Maybe you'll find out it's not what you want.
Exactly.
You've wasted too many years. So what about where you're living? At home?
I live at home with my parents.
In
Yeah.
Richmond Hill?
Yes, and my
And
younger brother.
And how are you getting around?
So when my father is not, you know, he's nice enough to drive me, or I have use of the car. I share a car with my mother. Then I will drive because it's so much easier than public transit. But if I have to take a bus, I will. I mean, a lot of things are downtown, and I'm in Richmond Hill.
So do you dream about working more downtown or living downtown? Is that a dream, or you want to stay in the region?
I'm very, very, very comfortable living where I am. I love Richmond Hill. It's great. I like my quiet, Leave It to Beaver area. I like to get away from the city. But I love to work in the city because I just like the people down there and just all the different, you know, the lights and the, you know, I'm in the arts. I love it. So I'd love to work down there, but it's just public transit is such a headache.
Well, from York Region, I think the two fares.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of time, and in the snow and in the cold. If it were hot all year round, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't have a problem. Just pop in my iPod and we're good to go. And when it's snowing, it's just such a headache.
So what about debt? As I think that a lot of
Mhm.
students go into very big debt studying courses that don't necessarily lead to a lot. You know,
Yeah.
I think we're hearing from everybody today that everything helps everything. Taking a philosophy course or a writing course or studying criminology, that it is all helpful, but you know, support from parents is certainly a help. Not everybody has that option. Would you recommend to somebody get student loans, get your education, or just get out there and get a job?
One time, actually, this came up at my high school. I went to Tenenbaum Chat, and a great school, and they were extremely supportive of me and my career. And we had a discussion once about getting student loans and about how to do that. This was in grade 12, and a teacher even asked, you know, and this was controversial at the time. They asked the students, you know, raise your hand if you think you're applying to get student loans. Not if you need it, but if you think you're applying to. And I put my hand up because and everyone was like shocked, you know, how could you ask that? But there's no shame in that. I think they're there to help you, and you should take advantage of that help. And you know, if you're lucky enough that you don't need it, that's amazing, good for you. But if you need it, it's there for you. Go grab it. Like it's your future.
Well, a lot of people feel that the student loans, they're interest-free while you have the loan, and I'm sure for low interest after that, that even if you just take the money and you use it for travel or you use it to invest,
Yeah.
and then just pay it back afterwards, that the money's there for the taking, so that's their attitude. Unfortunately, a lot of people take the student loan, and if they don't absolutely need it, they end up spending it, and then they're sorry afterwards they have the money that they have to
That's
pay
about
back.
being smart. That's about using your brain at that point. I mean, I think anything you get in the way of help is a gift. So treat it like that. Be grateful, and just use your brain.
I think that's the key, is be grateful. If you have parents who can help you out, it's wonderful, but the government's there and the Canadian taxpayers are there to help as well. Be right back after this short break.